raise up that HP. And the exit is this way. Kill another enemy just for good measure. She is just a shadow. She's just a figment of Riku's imagination. And I suppose Riku probably imagined he could beat her up pretty easily, right? So, makes perfect sense in that way. There we go. Almighty darkness. And let's just go ahead this way. Let's look off into the distance. I realized recently that I don't often take the time to just look around. There is no first person view, unfortunately. So this is the distance. When you're outside, you can see some mountains in the distance. I don't know, it doesn't mean anything. It's just cool. It's just some art they put out there. So I'm gonna try to focus a little bit more on like paying attention and looking at the world around me rather than just shoving through the game. Hopefully you will find that appealing. You can see the magic coming out of the pipes still, same as it was before. Can we see anything up there? Just the side of the castle. Alright, so let's save. So we cleared a whole world, and this is one of the longest worlds Riku has in 30 minutes. Done. The other worlds are going to go much faster than Sora's worlds too. That's okay. I type with my glasses off and on, and I mistype all over the place too, so don't worry about it. So yeah, I will definitely try to pay more attention to the scenery around me, because I do have a tendency to just kind of move through it. All right, moving on.
Why do you shun the darkness?
Come on, I know you heard me. Every word I said to Maleficent.
Darkness is your weapon. It is time you learned you must accept it.
What do you mean?
Stop resisting. Accept the darkness. You have no choice. If you are to serve me again.
I thought it was you. Ansem.
Oh, you don't seem surprised.
All you have been talking about is the darkness. I can only assume you want to pull me back in, so you can play puppet master.
Clever boy. I knew you'd be the one to most appropriately serve me. And now, surrender to me again.
You're crazy! Not a chance!
Did you really think you could do me harm? A weakling like you couldn't even defeat Sora, and you had darkness on your side.
Oh, excuse me for being weak.
You are weak. You need darkness. Surrender. Bow to darkness. Bow to me.
That's not gonna happen.
Only the darkness can offer to you all of the strength that you will need.
You're wrong.
Oh. That voice. Your Majesty?
That's right. Remember, Riku, you're not alone. Listen close. The light'll never give up on you. You'll always find it, even in the deepest darkness.
I got it. I won't lose to darkness. Not today.
You think that feeble little light can save you? From the darkness that I command?
Ba-ba-bum. Time to fight Ansem already. Well, that's weird. You shall feel the darkness everywhere. I wish Rose was here for that line. Give me all you've got. I'll give it right back. Oh boy. He's not making it better. When Ansem shows his card, break it right away. Like so. Rapid break. Quickly break the opponent's card for a boost in attack. So that's one of the new mechanics. If you break a card quick enough, you get an attack boost. So Ansem's going to teach us some new stuff. Not giving up yet? I wonder how much of this you can take. I'm just going along until you give up. Show the same valued card as the opponent and press triangle.
Just me.
Break all the opponent's cards.
Get a load of this.
Duel system. Show the same valued card as your opponent's and press triangle to start. Break all the enemy's cards to execute a slate, but you will need more than 8 cards. So, remember that thing from the end of Sora's story where he had to beat all those cards in order to not die? Same idea here, except now you want that to happen because if you can break all the cards instead of not dying, you get to really mess up your enemies. There's some really good slates. AoE attacks, clear whole rooms, do massive damage to bosses. It's good stuff. It's what you want. Oh.
What? That all you got?
It seems to me that you are intent on resisting the darkness. All right, then see it for yourself.
Huh?
This is a card crafted from your memory. Advance through the world it creates, and soon you will understand. Chasing after light is not the way. It will not give you distance from the darkness. There is no running from the darkness.
Don't worry, I'm not running. Give it. I'll enter the world, and in the end, if I haven't given in to the darkness, then I win.
I have one more gift for you.
What'd you do?
I simply tempered the darkness that yet remains in your heart.
You still think that I'd rely on darkness?
To use it or not is your choice. I'll be waiting, Riku, for you to sense it and yield to the darkness in your heart.
Riku's gloves are dumb. I don't know if you were looking close at them right there, but they don't cover his entire hand. It bothers me. I never used to notice it, and then I noticed it one day, and now it bothers me forever. Okay, so activating Dark Mode. Dark Mode can be activated when you have accumulated maximum Dark Points through card breaks. So every time you break a card, that number it shows, that adds to your Dark Points. Once you hit max, you enter Dark Mode. In Dark Mode, your skills are powered up, and you have more slates to choose from. DP is lost when your card is broken or you receive damage. Riku returns to normal when your DP reaches 0. And that does not stand for Deadpool. And now we got Traverse Town, Agrabah, Monstro, and Neverland. You feel like we shouldn't use DP. Well, that's kind of an interesting thing, right? Because you feel, oh, maybe we shouldn't use darkness. But it kind of happens, whether you mean it to or not. So that's an interesting mechanic that they threw in there. Because you're going to be breaking cards, whether you intentionally do so or not. And if you don't break cards, you will die. So you kind of don't have a choice, but sometimes it's going to happen. So I don't know that we ever looked around. It's got this is the same banner crest thing that you saw in the 13th floor. Can't look at the roof, unfortunately. That would be really cool if we could. You cannot stop the darkness power. Once you hit max darkness points, it happens. You switch to dark mode. You have no control over it. I mean, you can control it if you don't ever break your opponent's cards, but you're not going to win a lot of fights that way.
Don't I even warrant a hello, Lexius?
What is going on here, Zexion? I want an explanation.
Nice to see you too, Vexen. It's such a shame. The organization used to be the rope that bound us together.
You're only number 6. How dare you?
Let it go, Vexen. Zexion, tell us. What did you detect?
Visitors. I picked up 2 scents in the castle.
Just to clarify, because I don't want the confusion to distract from the scene, this Riku's story takes place kind of concurrently with Sora's story. So we're back at the beginning when Sora was first entering the castle, and Vexen is not yet dead. There's some weird time jumps, and we end up after Sora is done here, but yeah, for right now we're before Vexen has died. Okay.
Lowest basement. One of them was Maleficent.
Don't be absurd. The witch is gone. She cannot return from the realm of darkness of her own volition.
If you would let me finish. The scent belonged not to the real Maleficent, but to a very convincing double. But I truly cannot say much beyond that, since the double is no more. Our other visitor saw to that.
And who is it?
I do not know for sure, but the scent was very similar to that of the superior.
And yet, not exactly the same, was it? This truly piques my curiosity.
Now, what to do?
We wait. See what develops.
Something smells funny. What's that scent? It's so familiar. Darkness. It's the smell of darkness. I can't believe this is happening. The darkness even seeped into my skin.
Don't worry, Riku.
Your Majesty! Oh, what happened? I can see right through you.
Funny, huh? I can only send a bit of my power to this place. That's why I've got a request for you.
Request?
Listen, Riku. Just because darkness holds you, don't let go of who you are. You've got to fight the darkness inside you. It won't be easy to do, I know. But please don't forget, even in the darkest darkness, there's always a little bit of light.
Light within darkness.
You and I have seen it. The far welcoming light inside the door to darkness. The light of Kingdom Hearts. It will show you the way. Please don't give up. Believe in the light. That's a request from my heart.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Trust me, I'll try to find a way to reach you. I'll get there. I promise.
Oh. You're an illusion.
Don't worry. We shook hands in our hearts, remember? We're connected, you and me.
Guess we are.
I'm actually not sure that they were lying You'll notice that Lexius and Zexion didn't show up talking to Marluxia or Larxene, or Axel for that matter. So it may be that Vexen... I'm sorry. That was a terrible thing for me to do. But it's true, though. So it may be that Vexen didn't tell them that Riku was here, and they really didn't know that Riku was here. So they may not have been lying. They may have just been mistaken. Alright. Ready to go to the next world. And you get to choose. As always, Agrabah, Monstro, Neverland, Traverse Town, yeah, or Agrabah. Which, I suppose, these are the 4 places that we all remember seeing Riku. Neverland. Because remember, he showed up here to kidnap Jasmine while we were fighting Genie Jafar. He showed up here to mess with Pinocchio. Showed up here with Kairi. And he showed up here talking to Sora early on. Alright, so we'll go to Neverland. And the maps are basically the same as before. I think I said that already, but yeah. Beyond the fact that there's usually only one story area and there's no treasure areas, the maps are pretty much the same. Same design and everything. You can see I have a different deck now than I had before, and I have a different enemy card than I had before. I'll show you the enemy card. What is the enemy card? Oh, I have 2 enemy cards, so I have all zeros. All my cards break everything all the time, so that's fun. I don't like that enemy card particularly much. And then this is Overdrive, so what that does is it makes my attacks stronger. That's the Stagnant Space card. The great thing about that card... So this one changes all the values of all cards to 0. Sacrifices reload speed to power up attack cards. I don't have reload speed, so there's no downside to the Dragon Maleficent card for Riku's deck. Pretty nice. So you see he's now killing enemies in 1 hit, or 2 hits instead of 3. So that's pretty useful. And of course it lasts per attacks rather than per, let's see. Here, let me show you this. This is Mickey's thing. He will stun everyone and heal you. So that's pretty much the only way you can heal when you're playing with Riku, is if you get a Mickey card. Duel! So this is one of the better abilities you can get from doing a duel, and that's called Impulse, and it will pretty much kill everything near you. So let's raise my attack power, actually. The more you raise the dark power, the longer it takes you to get into dark mode, and the longer you can stay there. And I still am not getting there at all right now, so I'd rather just kill things faster and wait for that to happen. And you have to really be on the ball with those duels. It will go away really quick if you're just mashing X like I tend to do.
Take this! Your Majesty! Come on!
kind of surprised I haven't gotten into darkness mode yet. I guess I'm not breaking cards well enough. My attack cards will be more effective. Which means they get +2 added to them. Which means I don't have 0 cards anymore, which is kind of a bummer, really. Because 2 cards aren't worth much, though it does at least make these other cards worth more. Okay, so here's darkness mode, and in darkness mode, Riku gets a double jump. He's much stronger. And he, of course, looks like his boss fight form, or his replica Riku form, because that's his darkness form. But darkness mode, I do have that. I don't want all of them to be zeros. I just want some of them to be zeros for emergencies. It really doesn't matter fighting against regular enemies. It's the boss enemies where it can be a real issue. And we won't have this world property in play when we get to the boss, of course. Excuse me. Jeez, there's a lot of enemies in this encounter. Hey, let's see what happens when we use 3 Mickeys. Well, he's just... Oh, he reloads my cards, too. That's pretty nice. Darkness! Come on, I want to duel you. So this is Dark Impulse, which is the same idea as Impulse, but more powerful. So that's a lot of what Riku does in Darkness, is the same things he did before, but better. So let's look at my slates. So you have Dark Break, which is if you use 3 Soul Eaters, 5 to 15. Dark Faraga, Expel Dark Energy, only available in Dark Mode, 16 to 25 is Dark Break. Is also only available in dark mode. And Dark Aura rushes enemies repeatedly. So this is kind of like Sonic Blade, only available in dark mode, and you have to add up to 29. So his regular attack slates, you can only get those when you are in dark mode. He can't slate otherwise. The King restores HP, stuns, and deals damage to all enemies, and reloads cards. So he does that for 2. For 3, he restores a lot of HP, stuns and deals damage to enemies, and reloads cards. Holy Burst, multiple shots back-to-back with the King, so that's a fun one. We'll check that out soon. Inverse Burst is the most powerful slate, probably, because it's the easiest to enable once you're in dark mode. And this is the same thing as the other burst, except inverse. You do the same slate, but it's in dark mode, and the enemies become confused, and they take more damage from it. And then you have Impulse, which I've shown you in Dark Impulse, which is the same thing. And then sometimes you'll have a 5-card duel, and then you will get Maelstrom or Dark Maelstrom, and then Barrage or Dark Barrage, and I'll show you those if we ever get in a 5-card duel. The number of cards used in a duel depends on the strength of the enemy. So the enemies we're fighting right now are all fairly weak, so they're all going to be 3-card duels.
Like it.
Darkness. So you see what I was saying. You cannot control it. If you're breaking cards, it's gonna happen, and if you're not breaking cards, you're probably losing. All right, so where am I going? We gotta go this way. You can see these maps are much smaller, The maps in for Sora, even this early on, were much bigger than this. And again, there's only one only one story card here. I'm trying words, buttons. Couldn't remember how to switch to the enemy cards. Oh crap, that was dumb. What a waste of a card. Hold still. So this is actually a room where all of their cards are +2, which makes things much more difficult for me. Which is why we're not going to stay in here for very long. We need a 3+ or higher. Well, that'll do. And then a story card. And boom, just no story, just fight Captain Hook. So all of Riku's story is in the hallway, pretty much. Ooh, what is this? Darkness! So this is Dark Break, so that's pretty fun, right?
Take this.
Oh, and then he broke me out of the darkness.
Darkness.
Here's Darkness again.
Take this.
And here, let's show you what Inverse Burst looks like. Oh, this is Holy Burst because I got broken out. Oh, and then he broke me again, the jerk. Let's see. Oh, crap. Can I duel him? Duel might be my best bet right now. So this is a 5-card duel. And that's how you do that. Good night, Captain Hook. Blast! Just like I planned it. And now I get the Captain Hook card. Yeah! It's a pretty good one. The 7-card one is, of course, the most powerful one because that's the hardest one to get. But hopefully I'll get to show that to you at some point. Duels are really awesome when you can pull them off. When you don't pull them off, you end up stunned, and it sucks. Give me some health, please. Thank you. Alright, so where's the exit? I guess it is up here, probably. The 3-card one is really good for clearing out a room, which makes sense. That's what usually you're going to be using that against regular Heartless. So you want to clear a whole room when you're done with them. The 5-card and 7-card ones are usually good for killing single enemies, which again makes sense because if you're fighting a strong enemy, you really want to kill that enemy.
Your Majesty.
Let's get that heal going, Your Majesty. Thank you. Well, it's better than nothing, I suppose. Oh, missed him. Well, that works, I guess. Stagnant space. And we'll go up here. Lasting Days. So this is the room where when you hit them, all subsequent waves of enemies also enter the fight dazed, which is pretty nice to have. Okay. Oh, I should see what Captain Hook's thing does. Now, the one thing about enemy cards is you can only have one active at a time. So I can't have Maleficent's and Captain Hook's cards active at the same time, which kind of sucks. Let's see. I haven't shown you. This is Holy Burst. So Inverse Burst looks a lot like this, except longer and more of it. Like, it shoots twice as many bullets out and stuff.
Darkness!
Darkness! I hate when I waste my Mickey card on darkness. Strong initiative. Well, let's raise that attack power. Yeah! And it's like, it's even better when it's longer, shoots more bullets, and does more damage. Stop that!
Take this!
Oh, yeah, so this is a constant problem with Riku, is you can't just heal, so you gotta get your health here, you gotta draw a Mickey card and not accidentally go into darkness mode when you use it. You know, I think this room, it has the same design regardless of the world it's in. I think, like, if I did this in Hercules World, like, all the items would be Hercules items, but the shape of the room would be the same. I could be wrong about that, but that's how it feels to me right now, because the last time I did a room like that was a Hercules room. And I remember it being that exact same shape. And also, I remember doing it once with, what's their face? Halloween Town. Alright, so there's not as much to see if we want to look around here. Somehow there's a bottomless darkness in the ship. I don't know what that's about, but it's there. And otherwise, you know, you just get the hull of the ship. We got a nice window over here, so we can save. How many saves do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. I don't know. We'll do another one. Halloween Town thing, yes. No, I meant the room itself. Here's a quick shout out to all of my patrons. For as little as $1 a month, you too can have your name listed here. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit the like and subscribe buttons to help me reach more people.